Okay, so we begin with chapter number 9, that is trait theory or leadership theory. Okay, now see, we all have heard a lot about leadership. Okay, people who are at leadership position, what are their qualities, and what are things which are required in a leader. Leadership is an important factor in any human organization. Every organization has a leader. For example, a manager. He's the one who directs the company. He's the one who, directs the workers. He's the one who gives responsibility to the workers. He's the one who helps to perform the task. Okay. Now, in this leadership cannot be learned. Okay, leadership cannot be learned. Okay, you can train people to become good leaders, but real leaders are born. Okay, it's an inborn quality. It cannot be taught to everybody. For example, Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Okay, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. These are all born leaders. They had leadership quality in them, and that is why there were so many people who followed these people. Okay, and even today, after their death, after 50 years, 70 years, okay, we still remember them. Lokmanya Tilak, okay, Ranade, okay, Mahatma Phule, Savitri Bai Phule, okay, Sarojini Naidu. These were all leaders of their time, and they have a very respectable position because leadership is a trait. It is an inborn quality. It cannot be learned in all cases. All right. Then we see the trait theory of leadership. Okay. Say for example, there were, say for example, George Bush, okay, Obama. These were all leaders. And trait theory, it basically means that leadership is inborn in you. It's a quality which is in you since your birth time. Okay, everyone cannot be trained as leaders. So in an organization also, it plays a very important role. It plays a very important role that a leader or a person has to be trained first and then given some sort of position. Okay, let's see the five big personality traits. Number one, openness. A leader has to be open. He cannot hide anything from his followers. Okay, he cannot say that, he cannot make false promises. That is why some people are hated. Some political promises are not fulfilled. Why? Because probably the leadership doesn't understand the importance of making promises, or doesn't understand the importance of leadership. That is the meaning of openness. You have to be open to your people. You have to be open to your nation. You have to be open to your countrymen. You have to be open to your workers, your staff, your organization, your company, your boss. Second is consciousness. You need to be conscious. You need to know what are you talking. You need to know what are you doing. You need to know what are you performing. You need to know what kind of promises that you have made. You need to know what is right, what is wrong. You need to have an inner consciousness that if you're making any wrong decision, how is it going to affect people? If you're making good decision, if you're making right decision, how many people are going to get benefit out of it? Okay. Extroversion. Okay, now extroversion basically means that you are trying to understand people. You are trying to go and try to reach out to people. You're trying to extend your limitations and your boundaries, and you're trying to reach out to people. Agreeableness. Okay, just because I'm a manager in a company, okay, I will not take the suggestion of a salesperson. I will not take suggestion of a peon or a clerk. No. Okay, it might be that the peon or the clerk is making the correct view or the correct opinion, and it's my duty to at least think about it, right? That is agreeableness. Neuroticism. Okay, trying to understand what the person is trying to say. Okay, if I'm wrong, if I'm not making the wrong decisions, okay, I need to correct myself. I need to understand. I need to take care of myself. I need to review my decision, because my decision can be a problematic situation to others also at the same time. Importance of emotional intelligence. Okay, now what is emotional intelligence? You need to be you need to be strong. You need to be practical. You need to be considerate. You need to understand Okay, you should not follow your emotions always. You should also try to understand the situation. You should also try to understand, okay, the reality behind the situation, the reality behind what is being told, or you need to understand the reality of what is happening around. Okay, you should not be fooled by your staff, you should not be fooled by your colleagues. You should know that, such things can happen, and you need to be practical, you need to be rational, you need to be radical before making a decision, or before passing a decision, or before making any policy. Contingency theories. Okay. Now, the discovered limitations of trait and behavioral theories of leadership led to a focus on situational influences. Okay. Now, we have Fiedler, who's a thinker. Okay. He has spoken about contingency model, proposes that effective group performance depends on the proper match between the leader style and the degree to which the situation gives control to the leader. Okay, just because you are the senior person, or just because you have been made to sit in an organization, does not mean that you're a good leader. You need to understand, you need to focus, you need to evaluate yourself. Okay, you need to define the situation. Okay, then there are three ways which have been defined. Number one, leader is a member relationship. A leader has to keep everybody together. A leader has to keep the boss happy. A leader has to keep the worker happy. It's a difficult task, I know, but then that's what a leader is all about. Okay, why people praised Mahatma Gandhi? Obviously, there are always opposition to every leader, but then majority of people were with Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Indira Gandhi, okay, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. Why so many people were their followers? Because they understood, and these leaders had portrayed the correct way of talking to them and explaining them. Task structure. It's good to be a taskmaster, but it's not good to be dominant. It's not good to be hot-headed, because if you want to work with people, if you want to work with workers, you need to understand, you need to go to their level. You need to understand their problems, the situations, and then perform. Position of power. What position you are at? Just because you are a manager, or you are the boss, does not mean that you are going to ruthlessly perform or ruthlessly talk to people. And according to that only, according to that scenario only, okay, matching leaders and situations. Okay, matching leaders basically means that you are trying to understand the situation of the leaders, the organization, and trying to understand the workers. You are trying to create a balance between the boss, the staff, the worker, and every individual who works, every staff who's contributing towards the work performance and the work task of the person. Okay, so that is what the leadership theory is all about. It's all about a leader performing. It's all about a leader making correct decisions. It's all about a leader running at the same time for its people, for the organization, keeping his ego, keeping his attitude, keeping his problems aside. Then I spoke to you about 5 personality traits of a leader. Number one, he should be open. He should be open to his people. He should be transparent to his owner and the company as well. Second, consciousness. They should be conscious that if he's doing anything wrong, this conscience should speak to him. Extroversion. He needs to go out of the way to help people. He needs to travel. He needs to travel miles to understand people. He needs to understand each and everybody's problem. Agreeableness. He needs to agree with people. He needs to understand people. Then neuroticism. That means trying to extend the limit and trying to grab everyone together, because a company, or a kind of company speaks together. All right, so we are done with module 3. Okay, we are done with module 3. We will begin module